Hi Internet! My name is Becky, I'm studying English at university and I've had a book in my hand since before I could actually read. True story according to my mother. I've been writing for as long as I can remember. It was always kind of my thing in primary school, which was great because I love stories and I love that people liked them. Only once I hit my teenage years, my little bubble of pride kind of burst and I started to panic and think, what if I'm not good anymore? It's no longer going to be my thing, there's nothing that's going to make me special. So I did the worst thing possible and hid all my work from anyone, and for about 10 years didn't show anyone any of my work. So I wanted to join this channel for two reasons. The first being that I really think a community like this would have kick-started me during my years of self-consciousness and paranoia. So in that sense I think it would be really helpful for others, because it's one thing to know that other people are going through what you're going through, and it's another thing to be able to see them and interact with them. So that's why we would encourage people to leave comments, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and join in. That's what this is all about. And the second reason is that it sounded like a really fun idea. When Joe first came to me about this and told me about his ideas for the project, I was a little bit sceptical and I was thinking, what am I going to have to say that will benefit anyone? What am I going to be like on camera? What are people going to think? And then I decided that I'm actually pretty fed up of not doing things because I'm scared of what other people will think. So here I am. I've already had a great time getting to know all the other architects, and they've inspired me to do a bit of world building of my own. It's not something I've tried before. I've never created an entire world or country with rules and culture and language even for my characters to populate, so that's a journey I'll be taking with you guys, I guess. My inspiration comes from quite a few places. I'm one of those people that has quite vivid, quite odd dreams, and they're full of people and places that I want to pull out of my head and shape into a story. I'm frequently inspired by music. Sometimes it's a lyric, sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's a whole band. Of course I'm inspired by the writing works of others. My favourite authors include J.K. Rowling, of course. I'm a complete Potter nerd. I really like Gregory Maguire. If anyone's ever read Wicked or Son of a Witch, go see the musical, it's amazing. I've recently read a zombie trilogy by Myra Grant, and it's called the Newsflesh trilogy, and it's about zombies and journalism and conspiracy, and it's fantastic. And when I was a lot younger, I read a trilogy of books called The Guardians of Time by Marianne Curley. They were really great, and they were the kind of books that first got me into reading more fantasy, but I've never actually met anyone in real life who's also read these books, so if you've ever read them, please let me know. I'm currently working on a few projects. I've never just got one thing going on at once, which can be problematic because it makes it very easy to procrastinate but still feel like I'm doing something and yet not get anything done. I write mainly young adult kind of fiction, which fluctuates between fantasy and sci-fi, but it's a lot more softcore. Is that a word? I guess it's a word. Yeah, it's a lot more softcore than, say, something like Joe's work and most of the other architects, so I'm a lot more Harry Potter than I am Lord of the Rings. But it's the kind of thing that I would personally really enjoy reading, which is what makes it so fun to write. One of my main stories is a dystopian, and if you'll believe it, it started off about vampires and the main female protagonist was called Belle. I kid you not. But don't worry, that's all changed. She has a better name now, and they're not vampires, and the general plot has actually really benefited from that change. I promise you nothing sparkles. I've currently actually come up with an entirely new cast of characters, and the world building I mentioned before is where they're going to live, so that's currently main project number 2. I would encourage you to comment below anything about this video, anything you want to see in future videos. Talk among yourselves. We really do want to create a community here, so it'd be really great if we could help out a few people as well as just helping out ourselves. So enjoy tomorrow's final videos, and I will see you next Saturday. This end bit's purely for Shannon. Awkward.